Hey there, dudes. My name is Jose Ignacio, here with another tutorial. We've previously covered navigating within Odoo, and I wanted to expand on some of the topics we briefly covered. The two areas we will focus on are the filters within apps and the various views that enable us to change the way information is presented within Odoo. So let's dive into the database and take a closer look at some of these features, shall we? Okay, let's open up the sales application. And here, if I look at my search bar, I see that I have a default filter of my quotations. If I remove this by selecting the X, I can see all of the quotations in my database, not just the ones assigned to me. I can also add other filters by opening this drop down menu that we have to the right of the search bar. I have some standard options here that I can choose from, like if I want to see quotations, sales orders, etc., etc. Perhaps I'd like to see them from the past month. No problem. To do that, I'd select create dates and let's select October. Okay, but we actually want to filter these out. So in order to do that, let's select salesperson. Perfect. Remember, I said quotations. Let's see who had quotes. Look at that. We've gone down to 5 right there. It's that easy. With that in place, I can see which salespersons have had these types of quotations in the past month. If we get rid of quotations, now we have all of them, including the sales orders. Okay, but let's assume that we want to try something else out here. Okay, let's close out this create date option and let's just leave it at salesperson because I like to talk about default filters. So I can also make some filters my default filter just by reopening the search bar. And let's assume we already have it set up. And if we go over here to our favorites area, we can save our current search right there. Okay, so our options here are to either save this as a very specific favorite type of search or our default filter. Let's give this a nice name. By sales people. So for ours, we're going to do this as a default filter right there and select save. Boom. Now let's test this out because I love testing these things out. Let's go into sales. Ugh! Look at that. You will see the favorite filter we just saved now happens to be super, super easy as our default option. But what if we actually didn't mean to do that? Well, we can actually just click on our nice little pencil there, select that, and delete it because this happens to be a default filter. And boom, we're back to square one. Let's reopen our search filter right there again because I want to talk about custom filters. Okay, perhaps I'd like to search for something else like abandoned carts or maybe specific dates or anything else for that matter. Fortunately, Odoo offers a wide range of options to choose from. We have these nice little things that are called like Boolean equations that we can use. We have videos and documentation on this, so I won't get super nitty gritty into this. But I just want you to know you can get super custom with these, and you can even stack them. Alrighty, let's make sure we only have our group by salesperson filter option again. Okay, so from here, we can only view our data and records in, I think, one way. But what if I told you that you can actually view it in different ways? So the default list view is the one that you are seeing present here with the ability to expand each one of these little options into a giant list. But we also have Kanban. So in the Kanban view, we can see different columns organized by our salespeople since the salesperson filter is enabled. So this is particularly useful because we can drag and drop any sales order in this view. For example, let's say that I would like Mark Demo, my salesperson, to take over one of Mitchell admin's orders. It's not Rob Mitchell, so we're just going to move this Lumber Inc. one over here. Okay, now remember, this belonged to Mitchell. It was just that easy. Now when we open it, click Other Info. Look at that. Mark is now the salesperson. Perfect. Okay, let's go and click back to quotations via the breadcrumbs over there. And we're going to take a look at some of the other views as well. We have this calendar view, which is pretty much a calendar. Odoo displays sales orders created on various dates, and we can also access various records here, as you saw, by simply clicking on them. And it pops up information that we can quickly jump to, as well as close out. We also have pivot view, pivot tables. When we click on that pivot icon, Odoo shows us a pivot chart of our data. You can even then use the measures over here to change and add a few different options, insert the spreadsheets, and do much more. So that happens to be our nice little pivot view. Then there's one that I like a lot, graph view. So when we click on graph view, we can also change the graph types here. And we have our nice little icons to do so. I'm going to start with the rightmost one, which is my favorite one, pie charts. Jose Ignacio loves his nice little pie charts. Then we have line charts, which are okay. And then bar graphs, which I don't like. You can even insert these directly into spreadsheets. And then the very last view that we have over here is our activity view. So when we click on the activity clock icon that I just showed you right there, Odoo displays our scheduled activities across various documents. I can see that the column headers that we have over here represent the different activity types, and the row headers correspond to all the sales order numbers. Makes it easy to tell. So the red activity blocks are overdue, and the green ones, well, they're due in the future. Each block displays an activity due date as well. I can click on these, view, edit them. For example, clicking on this random one, I could see a notice and everything of what it is, and even schedule an additional activity if I would like to directly from here. Then I proceed to fill out this nice little schedule activity pop-up, as you can see. It's super convenient. And there you have it. Now that you've learned how to use filters, group data, and navigate through different views like kanban, list, and calendar, you have all the tools that you need to make Odoo work for you. These features help you organize information efficiently, focus on what matters most, and visualize your workflow in the way that best suits your own needs. With a bit of practice, you're going to be able to manage data, track progress, and stay on top of your tasks inside of Odoo. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Remember to check out our other videos for more Odoo tutorials. And if I wasn't clear on anything, please drop a comment politely. I'm just human. All right, have a great day.